Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Wedding MBA podcast. We talk to the amazing presenters and educators and experts that grace our stages at the Wedding MBA conference, which this year, 2026, will be November 17th through the 19th at the Las Vegas Convention Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. And you want to get your tickets as quickly as you can. Why? Because they get more expensive the closer we get to the conference. So all you have to do is go to weddingmba.com, click on purchase your tickets. You'll be rocking and rolling. And as long as I'm giving you this inside info, you want to save some money, use the discount code Clint, C-L-I-N-T. It's my name. You put that in the discount box, you'll get $20 off your purchase. All right. This is another episode with somebody who's brand new. I think it's the first time she's going to be speaking at the Wedding MBA. It's obviously the first time she's going to be on the Wedding MBA podcast, and I'm very excited because it's the kind of niche information that is going to be a benefit to the entire industry. She is the one and only Alea Shalae. Alea, how are you?
I am so wonderful, Clint. I am so excited to be here.
Oh, we're excited to have you. Tell everybody where you are and what you do.
I am based out of Southern Idaho. I am a hybrid photographer, hybrid photo videographer. So there's a couple different types of hybrid out in the world. One is hybrid photo and film, and I do hybrid photo and video.
Okay, and we'll probably get into the details of that in just one second. Listen, if you're attending the conference for the very first time, let me give you some more inside information. Go to weddingmb.com and click on seminars. Right underneath that is a link to the PDF file, and that's what you want because that's where all the really good information lies. And when you do that, you will find all of the great information in terms of the schedule of the seminars. Scroll down all the way down to Thursday at 3 p.m. But as you can see, we have separated some of these seminars into specialty groups, specifically for vendor categories. We do that for the first half of the day on the first day of the conference. We do it for the last half of the day on the last day of the conference. And if you look at photographers on Thursday at 3 p.m., you will see Hybrid Hero, rock video and photos at your next event. And that is with Alea Shalae. This is something that could go a million different directions. So I'm going to let you dive in any way you want to. Alea, go ahead.
If you are a wedding photographer, you have thought so many times about how beneficial it would be to add videography to your services. And actually, a lot of photographers have tried this, but they've done it in a way where it's just not profitable. They've hired an associate, and then if they're any good, they're not really making any profits because they're paying it all to their associate. And it's just more headache and more time and more struggle than it's worth. I am a hybrid photographer and I am shooting both photo and video. And that is why it is efficient and profitable because I'm not paying for an associate to be doing that. The way that it works is so many people think, they're like, how in the world do you shoot photo and video at the same time? They're thinking that it is simultaneous capture. And people think that all the time. They're like, are you using like a GoPro or are you taking stills of your video? Like, are you capturing those screenshots from your video? That's not the case at all. It's actually so much simpler than that. You need to think consecutive capture, not simultaneous capture. And that is where the magic lies. And that is how you can match your videos style with your photography style.
The first thing that jumped into my head is the equipment. I think I've seen cameras that used to be a photographer's camera, but also have video capabilities. And so I see those a lot more in the field over the last 10 years, so to speak. So in my head, and I'm going to let you correct me because I'm just telling you the curiosity and the imagination that I have so far of what you've said, is that you can take stills and then flip a switch on your camera and go video and then go back to the stills. That's what came into my imagination. Am I close?
Very, very close, but it's even simpler than that with mirrorless cameras, which all new cameras are mirrorless these days. You don't even have to flip a switch. It's literally you push the shutter button and then you push the record button. So it's just two different buttons that you're pressing.
So wait a minute. What I just heard you say is that on the camera where your fingers are, where we would normally press the button to take a photo, there's another button right next to it that automatically starts the video. Holy crap. How long have those cameras been on the market?
I would say at least a decade, probably more than that. Cameras have been able to shoot photo and video for a while, but it's just quicker and more efficient now. And they're just better at it.
Do you have to have a really big storage card in the camera in order to be able to do all of this? Because that's the first thing that I thought of. A long time ago, I used to edit video, and I know video takes up a lot of space. Everybody knows that nowadays. So how do you stay ahead of that in regards to the card that's in the camera?
It does take up more memory, but not really as much as you would think. If photographers are out there, I am shooting usually with a 64 gigabyte card, and that is usually good enough. Depends on how many hours of coverage you're doing, but it's really not tremendously more. This is really niche, but I don't shoot in 4K. I shoot in 1080, and I'm very intentional about that. And that's
Oh,
because of the memory and the storage, and also because your clients, they don't care. So I have never in all of my years, let's see, I started shooting photo video in 2016. I've never had a client question that or request for 4K. So I'm sure that will change in the future, but right now it's not a problem.
what about audio?
Audio, yes. So audio is half the story and it is important. The way that I shoot hybrid, I use hybrid as the foundation to offering full photo and video coverage. So you can just shoot hybrid alone and you can create beautiful highlight type films. So think like a reel, like an Instagram reel, that kind of thing that's set to music. And that can be all that you do with photo video, and that would be amazing, and your clients will love it. I go a step further and I use hybrid and a mix of cameras on tripods and that full audio in order to create full photo video experiences for my couples on their wedding day.
All right, I'm an officiant, so I'm thinking specifically of the ceremony. And what I imagine you just said is that you'll have the camera that you're running. You don't have other assistants that are manning other cameras. You have stationary cameras to kind of get all angles of whatever's going on. And correct me if I'm wrong, you're running really good audio through those other cameras.
Correct. So actually, I use field recorders to record really good audio. On camera audio is just a backup, but I actually do use an assistant. I don't use associates, and there's a big distinction there. An associate would be somebody that is like taking care of all the video themselves. I have an assistant on wedding days, and they're helping me more manage gear than anything and also getting an alternate angle. But for the most part, it's cameras on tripods that I'm just checking on every so often. In order to capture documentary footage, it doesn't have to be fancy. It just needs to record what's going on, and tripods can handle that.
The ceremony is pretty obvious because you have all the cameras are targeting the whatever's happening in the front. But what about the rest of the day? Like, how do you incorporate the other cameras if you do? I mean, I understand most of the footage is going to be what you're seeing through your lens, but how do you incorporate during a reception? How do you incorporate the stationary cameras?
The biggest thing is to recognize when I call them two different moments. So there's a cinematic moment and then there's documentary moments. A documentary moment is going to be anything that's only going to happen once. So, for example, the first dance, the cake cutting, the bouquet toss, the first look. These are things we are not recreating so that we can capture consecutive capture of those things, if that makes sense. So
Sure.
I am only shooting photo during those moments. But then there's a camera on a tripod or an assistant with a monopod that is capturing video at that time. There are very few moments that are actual documentary moments that we need to be worrying about those things. And it's really so simple because the tripod does such a good job. It gets stable footage, you can control it, and it's sitting right next to you as you're taking photos.
All right, now let's get back to somebody who is in the business. They want to present to their clients something that is unique. How should they position what you do to somebody who, because we've already established on previous episodes, most people don't really have an imagination. They only know what they know. And so, how do you describe to a wedding professional what you do and the benefit that it has so they can pass that information along to the client to kind of set up the meeting with you?
This is something photographers are painfully aware of this because couples are looking for a photo video team. They don't want to have an additional vendor that they have to have meetings with, that they have to coordinate with, that they have to arrange payments with. It is so convenient to be handling both the photo and the video. And also because photo and video teams have to work so closely side by side, I feel like I can serve my clients better when I am doing photo video because I am in charge of all of it. I'm in charge of the creative vision. I'm not walking into my photo shots or into my video shots. I know where everything is. So it's a way that you can serve your clients better by handling both the photo and the video on the day. It's a convenience thing and it's also a quality thing.
I mentioned that I do ceremonies, and one of the first things I do when I get on property is to find the photographer and, if necessary, the videographer. And the first thing I ask them is, have you worked with each other before? because that makes a huge difference. Well, obviously, you know yourself. That kind of solves that problem right off the bat. What's the turnaround time from when you shoot this, considering that there's different layers to it, so to speak, to where the client gets the end product?
My personal turnaround times have varied throughout the years, but we have gotten so much faster because I have decided to run my business as a business. I am not doing all this by myself. With that, I can turn around the photography within a month. And then video, we probably could do a month if we weren't shooting so many weddings back to back. But in a contract time, we have 2 to 3 month turnaround time for full final video products. We always try and get a teaser out way before that because they get so excited to see their stuff. When we're shooting hybrid, we can get those teaser reels out within a week.
What I just heard you say is something really important. I remember talking to a guy and his business was quilts. And he said, it's really simple. I do what I'm good at, and anything that I'm not good at, let somebody else do it. And in your particular case, it's not so much that you wouldn't be able to do it really well. It's the time that you would have to give to it. So I'm guessing that you farm out editing and that sort of thing.
That was correct. I have worked with my editor. Shout out to Videoleak in Ukraine. I have worked with him since probably 2017. Yeah, find somebody that does what you want to do better than you do and let them take the reins. I have creative control, so I'm always like sending revisions back and forth, but we can do so many more weddings that way when I let other people help me.
I just have one last question, and then of course I'll give you the opportunity to share something maybe that we haven't talked about yet. You mentioned your editor is in Ukraine. How did you find that person?
He found me. So when you start doing video, you're going to find that you are going to get editors offering their services. They're coming through the woodwork. So they're going to email you, they're going to DM you, they're going to comment on your posts. I've had people like find my phone number and call me. So editors are out there, and there are some really, really good editors. They're not hard to find. I promise you, they will find you.
Okay, very good. Is there anything else that you want to tell us in regards to the session that you're going to be providing at the conference?
I think so many times as wedding professionals, we are almost hyper obsessed with achieving the next level, right? We want to find more high-end clients, more luxury clients, and that's the way that we can grow in our business, and that's the way that we can increase our revenues. But something that I think we forget to look at is not just that vertical growth, but horizontal growth as well. And by offering more services to your couples, you can serve them better. They can be more excited about the outcome, and simultaneously, we can double our revenues.
That's brilliant. I love this. Believe me, Alea, I think that your session is going to be spectacular. And by the way, if you're going to the conference, please know anybody can attend any session. Just because it says photographers doesn't mean that you have a velvet rope and you have to show your photographer ID. No, no, no. You can go into any session you want to if you think it will help you. And that's our goal at the conference, is to help you. I know people are going to want to reach out to you, Alea. What's the best way for them to do that?
Instagram for sure. I share a lot of behind the scenes. So I've talked about how I shoot hybrid, but you can actually see me working hybrid on my Instagram. And that is alea.shalae. ALEA.SHALAE.
Fantastic. Well, there you go, everybody. That's the way it works at the Wedding MBA conference. You can see we don't goof around. We want to give you information that's going to help you grow your business in the way that you want to grow it. But the only way you can really take advantage of it is to go to the conference. So go to weddingmba.com, click on purchase your tickets, use the discount code CLINT, CLINT, so that you can get $20 off your purchase. That's it for this episode of the Wedding MBA podcast. This is Clint, and on behalf of Alea, we will see you next time.